for nothing, just eating balls, gooch, ass, legs, toes, eating that young. And you sit up here talking about why be better, cuz all that trolling, my nigga gonna pick your ass up by your shirt when they see you.
What's good, fam? Your boy's returning with another wild story development that's got the hip-hop world talking. We're taking a deep look into how Memphis rapper Finesse2Tymes has freshly sparked one of the most intense rivalries in hip-hop with NBA YoungBoy. This situation involves direct messaging, threats against family, weapons being brandished, and a recent drunken live stream that dragged everything back into the spotlight. So, get comfortable, and let's analyze this intricate drama. But before we start this discussion, make sure you all hit that like button and press the subscribe button as well to stay informed on every rap beef happening these days. The initial conflict between Finesse2Tymes and NBA YoungBoy began over a common occurrence in rap. A woman, Fines, confessed to liking photos of one of YoungBoy's baby mothers on TikTok. While this might appear harmless, in the highly competitive rap world where respect is paramount, even social media engagements can ignite serious feuds. Fines explained his view in interviews, stating he was just being flirtatious and showing admiration for an attractive woman. Nevertheless, YoungBoy viewed these actions as a direct insult to his relationship and dominance. The timing worsened the situation because YoungBoy was already confined to house arrest in Utah, feeling isolated and likely more prone to taking offense at perceived disrespect. When YoungBoy found out about these interactions, he decided to call it out openly on social media instead of resolving it privately.
Nah, you sound like a bitch who I kicked out. I ain't trying to hear none of that mental health shit, boy. Hey, you know how that shit turned out. You wrote my hoe. I ain't tell you nothing, bitch. I told your hoe something. This bitch ass nigga wanna at me. Man, I ain't tell your bitch ass. I ain't tell your botched ass nothing when you play with my hoe. I just post your bitch. Keep that thing gangster. Then go back and play with my wife, man. That ain't no bitch. Hey, that ain't that bitch that you fake pimping. No, man. Alright. I don't want to talk. I ain't your friend. I ain't none of that, you bitch.
This decision dramatically intensified the whole situation. YoungBoy didn't solely focus on Finesse directly. He overstepped serious boundaries by issuing threats against Finesse's relatives. Specifically, YoungBoy posted on his Instagram story saying he would shoot your mother with that chopper, which amounts to a threat of murder against an innocent woman. This threat violated basic street ethics that have been in place for years. Involving someone's mother in a beef immediately converts verbal arguments into potentially fatal scenarios. YoungBoy's readiness to threaten Finesse's mother demonstrated he was willing to disregard any limit to make his point clear. The situation became even more precarious when Finesse's brother, No Love, saw YoungBoy's threats aimed at their mother. No Love felt compelled to respond because family reputation was on the line. He retaliated on social media with equally strong language regarding YoungBoy's people, effectively broadening the conflict from a personal beef to a family feud between Memphis and Baton Rouge.
What actually happened between you and YoungBoy and his crew?
Man, when this first popped off, he was actually beefing with Finesse2Tymes.
YoungBoy.
Yeah, they were having words about some you know what I'm saying, online. And YoungBoy jumped up off the couch and, he was like, I hit your mama with that chopper. You know what I'm saying? And then he got to come out, bro, gal, and this, that, but that caught my eye. You see what I'm saying? You gotta understand, yeah, we got disagreement, problems, and shit, but, you know what I'm saying, we got the same mama, homie. You know what I'm saying? So once I said that, bro, I instantly went in defense mode. You know what I'm saying? I said what I said about his folks. And I meant that. You know what I'm saying? To this day, I meant what I said, fool, because at the end of the day, bro, you're playing with minds.
What unfolded next proves how quickly social media feuds can turn into actual violence. No Love found himself in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, which is hostile territory, while attending to personal matters. Purely by chance, he ran into one of NBA YoungBoy's crew members upon leaving a building. The crew member was easily recognized by his costly NBA chain. The confrontation started when the associate questioned No Love if he was the individual who had been insulting their people online. No Love, upholding his reputation, affirmed all the statements he had made without conceding or displaying fear. However, the affiliate's anxious mannerisms, particularly his trembling jaw, indicated he wasn't as self-assured as he was attempting to seem. The situation intensified swiftly when the affiliate declared he was going to get an item from his car. Everyone understood this meant he was retrieving a weapon. No Love observed as the man came back with an AR-15 assault rifle, taking a stance on the pavement while issuing threats about dealing with No Love on YoungBoy's behalf.
Nigga was like, ain't you Finesse, brother? I'm like, yeah, what's up? Oh, you the one that said shit about my peoples. So I'm looking at him, I'm looking in his face, his jaw shaking. You hear me? His jaw shaking while he talking. He don't even know what to do, so he kind of sagging. So I'm looking at his waist, and I'm at my whip, shit like this. So I open the back door up. When he asked me like, you the one that said this shit about my people, I stood on it right there. I'm like, yeah, nigga, I said what I said. Nigga said what they said about mine. But I knew he was one of YoungBoy partner because the chain he had on. You see what I'm saying? So I already knew where it was going. So nigga got mad. Nigga, I kill you by YoungBoy out here. You know what I'm saying? Woo. So I don't know if nigga was scared or what, but nigga telling me what he finna do. He like, I'm finna go to the car, nigga, I'm finna go get it. Nigga, I'm finna go get it. So I'm looking at him because you get what, homie? If you wanted to pop it off, then he was standing there with a young nigga look like he was about 17. So soon I say what I say, young nigga get to moving like he wanna try to probably fight or something, but he don't move. I'm looking like, you know what I'm saying? When a nigga goes to the car, man, pull an AI out the car. You hear me? And stand up on the curb like, that shit don't scare me, man.
Despite being confronted with a lethal weapon, No Love stayed entirely composed. He later clarified that having guns aimed at him was not a new experience. Even family members had used weapons to threaten him during arguments. This background taught him that individuals who truly plan to use firearms do not spend time talking. The affiliate's delay and reliance on verbal threats instead of action highlighted his lack of familiarity with real violence. After a tense pause, No Love departed the location unharmed. He later contemplated that if the affiliate had been genuinely dangerous, the encounter would have concluded differently. This event exposed a difference between YoungBoy's crew's online reputation and their actual preparedness for street conflict. Unexpectedly, this nearly fatal confrontation resulted in reconciliation rather than escalation. Finesse disclosed that he and YoungBoy eventually talked via shared industry contacts. They both understood that fighting over a woman who would ultimately make her own decisions was not worth jeopardizing their lives or freedom. Fines showed maturity by agreeing to remove his like from the social media post that initiated the whole thing. He stressed his identity as a smooth operator rather than someone who becomes overly emotional about women.
You ready to risk your freedom, your life, about a bitch that's gonna go, whether you want her to or not.
Both rappers recognized that prolonging the rivalry was pointless. Consequently, they formally concluded their conflict and resumed focusing on their careers. The truce held for months until very recently when Finesse started a live session on social media in what seemed like an inebriated condition. During this live stream, viewers could tell he was frustrated and not operating rationally. The issue arose when fans began overwhelming his comment section with "Why be better?" messages. This is a typical trolling method employed by NBA YoungBoy fans to deliberately annoy other rappers.
And you sit up and talking about why be better, cuz what the f that got to do with me, cuz? What is you talking about, family? What the f you talking about? Why be better, bruh?
Initially, Finesse attempted to disregard these comments while talking about other subjects. Nevertheless, the constant, repetitive influx of "you be better" messages steadily eroded his composure. His annoyance became apparent as he began asking why individuals continuously brought up YoungBoy when he was trying to engage in different discussions.
Everybody know why be that. What the f you telling me he better for, bitch? The f out my life, cuz. You constantly copy and pasting this. You constantly copy and pasting talking about why be better. You ain't tired? Damn.
The trolling tactics succeeded exactly as planned. Finesse began replying to the offensive remarks with increasingly explicit and direct personal insults aimed at the people posting them. He used vulgar language to describe what he envisioned these fans were doing, illustrating how deeply the continuous comparisons to YoungBoy were impacting him. Throughout the live stream, Finesse's conduct grew more unpredictable. He started mentioning toothbrushes and toilet routines, revealing his high level of intoxication. His girlfriend was noticeable in the background, and their interaction indicated domestic strain that contributed to his already stressed condition. Finesse was complaining about receiving a purple toothbrush when he desired a different shade, showing how alcohol was impairing his ability to reason about even small matters.
Thank you. Why you give me the purple one? I don't want this. I want the nice. I want the nice toothbrush. I need this. Can you get my kid? Can you get my Stanley Cup for me? Can you please get my Stanley Cup? I need this. Can you give me, before I brush my teeth, I need this, man, because you done gave me the low budget toothbrush.
You said Colgate.
That was tone level 4. We got 5 tone levels in this house. 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4,
Yeah.
and 5.
Yeah. Which one is 5?
Okay.
You just goddamn.
The private domestic situation being streamed publicly was awkward to witness. Finesse was ranking various intensities of anger from 1 to 5, explaining he was currently at level 4, which he characterized as the point when things are wrong and his finger becomes active. His girlfriend appeared displeased with his behavior, and their exchange revealed underlying relationship tensions that were being broadcast to thousands of people. The situation came to a head when someone brought up Finesse2Tymes' recent insults directed at NBA YoungBoy. Finesse2Tymes, who is another well-known Memphis rapper, had been engaged in his own feud with YoungBoy. When Finesse heard this news, it set off a connection in his drunken mind that linked back to his own previous problems with YoungBoy.
I just seen Being the Done and Finesse2Tymes on the goddamn live stream. This the shit they call rage baiting, bro. I just learned about this shit. So young Finesse2Tymes, if you listen, do not let them folk rage bait you. I done got caught up in this shit and I ain't going, fool.
I ain't gonna fool. Instead of maintaining impartiality in Finesse2Tymes' beef, Finesse chose to involve himself by publicly supporting his Memphis colleague. He began asserting that Memphis rappers must stand together and not retreat from anyone. These comments were clearly aimed at YoungBoy and his Louisiana crew. This decision marked a significant error. Finesse had previously shown good sense by avoiding other people's conflicts, but the combination of alcohol and relentless trolling undermined his judgment. He started making provocative statements he likely would have avoided while sober. During the prolonged live session, Finesse began questioning YoungBoy's authenticity as a street player. He referenced their earlier dispute and criticized YoungBoy's conduct, claiming that genuine gangsters don't overreact emotionally to women. This was ironic given that their original conflict started over that very issue, a woman. But Finesse was reshaping the story to make YoungBoy seem weak. Finesse specifically brought up YoungBoy's lyrics where he boasted about being capable enough to have women bring money home, implying that YoungBoy was undermining his own player image by getting angry about social media likes. He was essentially arguing that if YoungBoy was truly a player as he claimed in his music, he wouldn't have become agitated about another man showing appreciation for his woman's pictures. The live stream continued with Finesse growing increasingly aggressive toward the IB Better trolls. He began targeting individual commenters with personal insults, describing them in degrading terms and challenging their manhood. His outbursts became more hostile and explicit as his anger escalated. He referred to them as dildo users and made explicit sexual remarks, demonstrating how completely the trolling had gotten under his skin. Finesse also made it clear that he wasn't intimidated by any potential retaliation. He declared that he would prefer death over disrespect, and that he wasn't going to die because of no, meaning he wasn't going to allow disputes over women to be his downfall. This statement was especially noteworthy because it showed he was ready for whatever consequences might result from reigniting the beef. The Memphis rapper also addressed his financial status during the live stream, mentioning that he requires $250,000 for features and that he's not experiencing financial distress. This was likely a response to any suggestions that he was leveraging YoungBoy's name for publicity or financial gain. He wanted to emphasize that his renewed antagonism wasn't driven by desperation or career setbacks. What makes this rekindled rivalry particularly interesting is the timing and the context. YoungBoy remains confined due to house arrest, limiting his freedom to respond or travel. Meanwhile, Finesse is actively developing his career and attempting to establish himself as a significant figure in rap. Some observers question whether he's using YoungBoy's name for attention and relevance. The psychological factors are intriguing. Finesse had previously exhibited maturity by ending their beef and even expressing admiration for YoungBoy as an artist. He had mentioned thinking about signing with Yo Gotti, commending him as a true leader. But intoxication and trolling pressure caused all that diplomatic progress to vanish. Social media has fundamentally altered how rap conflicts originate and unfold. Past generations of rappers managed disagreements privately or through carefully crafted diss tracks released at strategic times. Today's artists face relentless, immediate scrutiny from fans who can watch every reaction and feeling play out live. The "You Be Better" comment strategy represents sophisticated psychological warfare. YoungBoy's fans understand that repeatedly comparing other rappers to their favorite artist will eventually provoke responses, especially when targets are in vulnerable situations like being drunk on live streams. This calculated method worked flawlessly against Finesse. Finesse's reaction also reveals the competitive pressures facing contemporary rappers. Even after officially resolving a rivalry, having thousands of fans constantly tell you that your former adversary is superior can rekindle feelings of wounded pride and disrespect. It's psychological torment disguised as fan devotion. The Memphis versus Baton Rouge dynamic adds regional pride to personal conflicts. Memphis has a strong tradition of artists supporting one another against outsiders. When Finesse mentioned Memphis unity, he was invoking this cultural expectation of loyalty and mutual defense. Pooh Shiesty's involvement introduces additional complexities. His separate beef with YoungBoy provides Finesse with a justification to jump back into the conflict under the pretense of supporting his city's representative. This allows him to frame his renewed hostility as allegiance rather than a personal vendetta. The alcohol element cannot be overlooked. Intoxication removes mental barriers that typically prevent people from saying things they will regret. Finesse's sober self had wisely terminated the beef, but his drunk self couldn't resist reacting to the provocation. As this situation unfolds, several questions remain unresolved. Will YoungBoy respond to Finesse's renewed insults, or will he concentrate on his legal circumstances? Will Finesse maintain his aggressive stance when he becomes sober, or will he attempt to retract his statements? How will this impact both artists' careers and public image? The broader takeaway demonstrates that in today's social media landscape, no conflict ever truly reaches an end. Digital platforms provide continuous chances for old wounds to resurface through trolling, misunderstandings, or poor judgment. Finesse, E2Tymes just proved that even mature, level-headed artists can make rash decisions that restart conflicts they had wisely put to rest.